It makes you wonder whether this app can read your mind. This mind reading is actually one of the most powerful and common forms of AI out there, and it boils down to one thing: the art of predictions. How do these recommendation systems actually work? What's going on under the hood? Often they are powered by machine learning algorithms, specifically designed to spot patterns. It learns more and more about your preferences with every single click and watch. But here where it gets kind of spooky. How does it know things almost before it happens? This technology is undeniably convenient, but it doesn't come for free. There are some real trade-offs that we need to be aware of. Think about it. If the AI is always optimizing for my past self, what does that mean for personal growth or fighting ideas that genuinely challenge me? Is our digital comforts kind of coming at the cost of intellectual expansions? But why does understanding all of this truly matter? Being AI literate just gives you more power. It gives you the tool to spot these filter bubbles and intentionally break out of them. Understanding this system isn't just an academic exercise. It actually gives you agency. Welcome back to the final parts of our series on how AI is already running your life. If you missed the first two, go check them out. Today, we're wrapping up with recommendation engines, navigations, and key takeaways. We have covered the basics of everyday AI tools in part 1 and did a deep dive into large language models in part 2. In today's video, we'll explore recommendation engines, navigation apps, and why AI literacy matters in 2025. Have you ever had that uncanny feeling when Netflix seems to just know what you want to watch next, maybe even before you do? Or when Google Maps just effortlessly steer you clear of that sudden traffic jam? It makes you wonder whether this app can read your mind. This mind reading is actually one of the most powerful and common forms of AI out there, and it boils down to one thing: the art of predictions. It's all about designing a system to figure out what you want, sometimes even before you do. So let's get into it. How do these recommendation systems actually work? What's going on under the hood? At the heart of it all are these things called recommendation engines, meaning AI system built for prediction, a powerful subset of AI. Often they are powered by machine learning algorithms, specifically designed to spot patterns. Think of them as AI systems that are constantly studying data like your past choices, what movies you rate, what you buy, even just what you browse, all to predict what you're going to love next. All these data is fed into the AI model, kind of like fuel for the engine. Once the model has that data, that's when the algorithms really start to churn. There are basically two main types of filtering mechanism. First, you got collaborative filtering. This is kind of like asking a friend for recommendations. It finds other people who have tastes just like yours and then suggests stuff that they loved. The other way is content-based filtering. This is more like deciding to read another book by an author you already love. It recommends things based on their specific feature, like genre or the main actor. And you see this literally all the time when you're shopping online. You know that classic Amazon phrase, frequently bought together? That is collaborative filtering in its purest form. The AI isn't just guessing. It analyzes millions, maybe billions of purchases to know that people who buy a new phone often buy a phone case with it. It's basically a highly educated prediction based on a mountain of data. The really clever part, though, is that the AI is constantly refining its suggestions over time. It learns more and more about your preferences with every single click and watch. And if you think that powerful, This technology is the absolute star of the shows on social media. Take a look at TikTok's For You page. That thing is an incredibly powerful system. It tracks everything like your likes, your shares, how long you watch a video, and then compare that to millions of other users to build a video feed that is, let's be honest, almost impossible to put down. And this same tech is humming along in the background everywhere else. From those online ads that seem to follow you from side to side, to job platforms that match your resumes to the perfect role, it has become the invisible engine that powers our personalized internet. So this predictive AI doesn't just suggest what to watch or listen next. It also helps us navigate the real world, pretty much acting as a smart co-pilot every time you get in the car. I can't imagine what it's like driving without them sometimes. Apps like Google Maps and Apple Maps, they seem so simple on the surface, don't they? But behind that clean interface, they are constantly crunching a staggering amount of real-time data from GPS signals, traffic sensors, road cameras, and even reports from other drivers, all to find you the best possible route. The whole process is this constant, never-ending loop. First, it collects this massive flood of data from every source it can. Then, the AI analyzes all that info to predict traffic patterns and figure out the fastest way to get you there. From there, it guides you with a turn-by-turn directions and those super accurate ETAs. And finally, it refines its own system by learning from your drive, making it just a little bit smarter for the next trip. But here where it gets kind of spooky. How does it know things almost before it happens? Like, how does it warn you about an accident just up the road? Well, the AI has a few secret tools for this. It pulls together real-time info from GPS signals from literally millions of phones simultaneously. Direct user reports, when someone reports an accident or a speed trap. Infrastructure data from traffic sensors embedded in roads and cameras. There's also historical traffic patterns for predicting usual conditions and typical rush hour times. And even social media. They use natural language processing to scan platforms like X for posts about accidents or road closures in real time. All this diverse data gets fed into these really sophisticated algorithms. They analyze it constantly to predict traffic conditions, calculate the absolute fastest route, and dynamically adapt to changes like sudden road closures or accidents. The machine learning models are continuously learning from these patterns, so their accuracy improves over time. Every time you follow a suggested route or report a hazard yourself, that's feedback into the system, helping refine future predictions for everyone. This technology is really fascinating. And when we connect this to the bigger pictures, this technology goes even further into self-driving cars. That's the next frontier, or maybe even the current one in some ways. Vehicles like Tesla full self-driving mode, they are entirely guided by AI. Navigating city streets, stopping at lights, rerouting around constructions, is all AI. It combines all the sophisticated navigation data we just discussed with a whole array of sensor inputs from the car itself, like LiDAR sensor, which use laser pulses to build these incredibly detailed 3D maps of the road environment in real time, and radars, which bounces radio waves off objects to track them and figure out their speed even in bad weather like fog or rain where cameras might struggle. And of course, high-definition cameras all around the car. All of this data gets fed into deep learning model, a specific type of AI, an advanced form of machine learning that's particularly good at recognizing complex patterns, especially in images or sounds. This allows the car to essentially see and interpret road signs, land markings, pedestrians, other cars, real-time hazard, while the navigation system is still planning the route. It's a constant fusion of perceptions, predictions, and planning. So look, this technology is undeniably convenient. Recommendation engines cut through that overwhelming amount of information out there. As information overload is a real thing, these tools help you discover relevant contents or products or opportunities you might never have stumbled upon otherwise. It's amazing, but it doesn't come for free. There are some real trade-offs that we need to be aware of. One of the biggest downsides is something called the filter bubble. You see, when an AI only shows you things you liked, it can trap you. You can get stuck in what is basically a digital echo chamber where you stop discovering new things and your information bubble gets smaller and smaller. Think about it. If the AI is always optimizing for my past self, what does that mean for, personal growth or fighting ideas that genuinely challenge me? That's the core tensions. Is our digital comforts kind of coming at the cost of intellectual expansions? It's a definite trade-off. And with navigation apps, the trade-off is pretty obvious. It's privacy. For that amazing convenience to work, the system has to know where you are and where you've been. And it's that constant collection of your personal location data that we really need to think about. But, and this is the most important part, you have some control here. If your Netflix recommendations are feeling stale, you can actually retrain the algorithms. Go watch something completely out of your comfort zone. And even more importantly, use those thumbs up and thumbs down buttons. That's direct feedback that forces the AI to look a little wider for your suggestions. But what about your location data? You can manage that too. In an app like Google Maps, you can actually go right into your settings, find your location history, and you can choose to pause it or even delete it entirely. That limits the data that the AI has to work with. So we've seen how these systems work. We've seen the good and we've seen the bad. But why does understanding all of this truly matter? Well, it matters because AI literacy is quickly becoming a fundamental skill for modern life. Just like learning how to use a computer became essential a few decades ago, getting the basic of how AI works is becoming non-negotiable for just navigating the digital world today. Understanding how these AI tools work, what they can do, but also what they can't do, their limitations, that's gonna be as fundamental as knowing how to use email or a search engine pretty soon. But that doesn't mean you need to become a programmer or an AI expert. It just means understanding how to leverage these tools effectively. Being AI literate just gives you more power. It gives you the tool to spot these filter bubbles and intentionally break out of them. It helps you remember to take a step back and not blindly trust every single AI suggestions. Knowing when to trust their output and maybe when to question it. And just staying current with their capabilities because they evolve so rapidly. Also, being aware of AI limitations, like the concept of hallucination that happen in some LLM applications that we talked about in the previous video. The AI might confidently present false or nonsensical information. Maybe a navigation app misinterprets a weird road sign, or a recommendation engine suggests an item that doesn't actually exist. And the key takeaway here, I think, is that understanding this system isn't just an academic exercise. It actually gives you agency. You are not just a passive recipient of whatever the AI suggests. You can actively shape your experience. You can take steps to protect your privacy. And you can consciously decide to broaden your horizon digitally or otherwise. So that's a wrap for this series. Like, subscribe, and hit notification for more AI tips. So here's the final thought to leave you with. Consider this. As AIs continue to evolve at this incredible pace, our ability to understand it, to interact with it effectively, and maybe even to retrain this intelligence system when needed, that ability will define how we navigate not just our cities, but our entire information landscape. It's a new form of navigation, if you will. So the only real question left is, now that you know the secret, how are you going to use them to actively shape your own digital world?